you. Welcome to Witching Hour. Tonight, who's joining me is Aaron. Say hi, Aaron.
Hi, Aaron.
And Jojo.
Hey.
And a new person, Rob. Big Rob is joining us tonight.
West Coast Big Rob. What's going on, everybody? I'm new to the group today. I just want to share some ghost stories. That's what I was.
Yes, I'm so excited today for that. Rob will be telling us some of his stories tonight, and also want to share a place that I would like to visit that is haunted, and I'll show you guys some of the pictures and why is it haunted and why is it kind of famous, I guess. And if you guys, Jojo and Aaron, if you guys have any places that you guys want to, like if you guys know, or Rob, let me know and I'll look it up and we can share our screen.
You actually shared one in the group chat, the Galveston, Texas one.
I have to look it up.
The orphanage.
Oh my gosh. I have to look it up. I can't remember.
So I used to shop at that Walmart.
Because okay. I'll look it up and see if I can find it, and then we'll play it. Yeah. Hey, Jeff.
Hey, it's good to see you again, Aaron.
Hey, it's good seeing you, Jeff. How are you?
Good. I'm gonna get my email up so I can get those haunted places in California ready.
Yes. So we can share it. So first, I want to start since Rob is new here. We're going to start with your stories, and then after that, we'll share the places. And so what are your creepy or spooky stories that you have for us?
Sure. Well, early happy Halloween, I guess, for everybody.
Yes.
So, I don't know. I'm not, to be honest, like a huge superstition guy or like so the whole paranormal stuff. I enjoy it, like watching ghost hunters and all that stuff like everybody else, but I have encountered a few things here and there throughout the years growing up. I think I told Jeff some of these stories. Mine are kind of funny, but still very freaky and weird. So the oldest story I have was probably when I was like, I don't know, 6 or 7 years old. And me and my buddy, this is like around like a regular weekday after school, we're playing outside. We're back in the 80s, so we're like in the hood, playing outside and just doing our kid stuff, just running around playing. And for whatever reason, we had our hands dirty and we had to run into the house I lived in, which is a house built like in the 1930s, early 20s. And this is in Santa Ana, California. So I was
going to ask, where was it?
This is in Santa Ana, California, middle of Orange County. When you say it, most people think of Orange County, they think of like, oh, the OC, but Santa Ana is pretty much the hood. And we had to run in to wash our hands because we're going to have something to eat. And whatever, like I think my mom called me or something. We got to eat. So me and my friend go in, wash our hands. So basically walk into the bathroom, down this hallway, get in the bathroom, and we're facing like the wall like this. We're little, so we're both been over the sink. We're washing our hands, and we're just doing going. It felt like an eternity, but we're probably there for like 20 seconds, and we started hearing like a water sound behind us, like it was like something was hitting the toilet, like water. And if you're a male, you know that sound of when somebody's urinating into the toilet, and it's almost like you could hear it just kind of perfectly going into the toilet. And we're like, what the fuck? Somebody pissing behind us? Because this is a Mexican's house, so there's a lot of people. So we both turn around and we look towards the toilet. There's nobody there. But out of the thin air, probably 3-4 feet in the air, there's water coming out of thin air. And it's going into the toilet. And we both saw it. We both clearly saw it. This is 4 in the afternoon, whatever, in the afternoon, looked at each other and yelled and bolted out of the bathroom, through the hallway, through the living room, out to the street. And we're like yelling. And we're just yelling. I remember, and I don't remember after that much because this is a very young age.
Mm-hmm.
I don't forget that moment. I don't forget the image. We both told each other what we saw, and we clearly saw it. So I had somebody witness it with me.
Yeah.
So it happened because there's two of us saw it, but no one believed it, of course. But
Yeah.
we're 7-year-olds.
Yeah.
So, and that house there was complaints of being haunted. Like there were people who had died in that house. People who lived there, like my cousin and stuff, they said they seen an old lady walking around in the kitchen, but was not really there. But it was stuff like that. But I don't know. It was just kind of like whatever. It's just not. It's not. It was not the most dangerous thing in the area. So it's like whatever.
But if if they said they knew it was haunted, how come they didn't believe you guys?
Well, because we're just like, well, you know, this is stupid ass kids. I don't know. Yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah. So
it's because they've never seen it before, so it never happened. It's never happened.
Well,
before.
That particular people have said they've seen like an old lady there. I don't know.
Yeah. But how's she gonna be if it's an old lady? Like, how's she gonna be like that?
Sounds like a guy.
Yeah,
right. So there was more than one.
So that's an old. It was really an older house, right from the 19th.
Wow, that's crazy.
So that's my oldest story I have. I got two more I give you.
Yeah, go ahead. Give both of them. Yes.
All right. This one is in Mexico, and I was probably, I want to say 11, 12 years old. 11, 12 years old. We are in the Jalisco region outside of Guadalajara. It's like metropolitan areas.
Hey, that's right.
In the early 90s, so it's like a small town vibe.
What's the name of the town? Do you remember?
The town? San Agustin.
Okay.
St. Augustine in English.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're, for some reason, I'm staying with my great grandmother's house. She's alive at this point. She's probably in her 90s at this point.
Wow.
This is in the early 90s. But her husband had passed away already. And it was
I think in Mexico, there's always somebody had passed away in the house.
It's an older lady by herself, and I don't know. It had the whole vibe of a scary house. It had the cold rooms, but I don't know. It's an older lady. Maybe she's just hot all the time. She likes the house cold, but So, but whatever. Me and I had my little brother. He's like 6 years younger than me at that point. He's probably like 6 or 7. I'm 12, whatever at that point, and we stay overnight, and we have been told that house, people think it's haunted, and they've heard stuff and just heard a lot of stuff. Never seen something, but heard stuff. So we're a little freaked out, but it's the both of us together in the bed, laying down, and this is after the TV's turned off, all the lights were turned off, and it was the bed's like in the living room area next to the kitchen where there's like a the hole, like a bar, right? Yeah. And we're sleeping, and we started hearing like rustling of like pans and dishes and stuff like that in the kitchen, and it starts getting louder and louder and louder, and we're freaking the fuck out at this point. I'm sorry, pardon my French.
It's okay. No, you can cuss. It's good.
So we're freaking out, and we start seeing some of the pants things start flying above us, and it just goes. And this is like there's enough light coming in from the moon that you see stuff.
Yeah.
And we saw it not once, like multiple times, and we're just like we were so stiff, scared, we couldn't move. But it was like the bed sheet was to our nose, and we're like this, and we just couldn't move. And we're probably up for like a couple hours, and eventually I think we fell asleep. It's kind of vague. That's why in my head, but I know. And me and my brother have talked about this throughout the years, and we both agree we saw what we saw, and we're pretty confident in what we saw. But it was, and we told my grandma, she's like, "Oh, it's probably just grandpa," and it's like she's to her like normal. It's like a normal thing.
Just grandpa. That's all.
Yeah, like you can tell she had encountered stuff in that house, and she's so old that she didn't give a damn at that point. It's like whatever. Yeah. So,
oh my god,
right?
That is so scary. And you know what? Like in those towns back in the day too, like because my grandpa was like from one of those towns too, like I've mentioned before,
Yeah.
and when it's night, like it's dark, like it's not like here, like when you live
Yeah,
in the
there's no
city,
street
like
lights.
There,
no,
so this is back. Yeah, this is like early '90s. So you could say civilization was at a minimum still at that point in that particular part of Mexico. Like
yeah,
Guadalajara, right now Guadalajara and San Agustin, there is no difference. You can't
yeah.
tell what one line starts and the other one starts. It's all
Now it's
industrialized
bigger, yeah,
suburbs. They build so much. It's crazy.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
LA basically.
yeah,
But back then, no, there's forests.
yeah,
There's empty. There's darkness everywhere
yeah,
at night.
yeah. Like I kind of know where it was. Go ahead, Jojo.
I was just gonna comment, like a lot of the stories, it's always like you witness something and it's hard to explain, right? And it's just that's what gets me, because I know myself and I know that like stuff sounds crazy. Like I'm that self-aware that I know that it's weird, but it's like, but I saw it, and that's the thing that gets me, is like I would be a skeptic if I hadn't seen stuff.
Yeah.
But
I'm like you. I'm in the same boat with you. I'm like, it's not like I'm like this true believer or anything like that, but I can't deny it. I know what I saw.
Like, I've seen weird stuff too.
But you also had witnesses on both of those. That's crazy.
Yeah. It's not about myself. It was a witness with somebody.
Yeah.
And then, so I mean, I guess like since I've never seen a lot of paranormal activity or whatever you want to call it, or supernatural, but I mean, having another witness perceive the same thing that you saw too as well.
Yeah,
I think that's kind of like, it's weird that like two people would perceive something completely different.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh, you know what? Oh my god, I keep forgetting that I wanted to have my brother on maybe next weekend for sure. I'm like, I keep telling him, you need to come on, but then I keep forgetting to test his computer. And but because he has like so much, like especially like the house that I'm always talking about, that where they live right now, like, and they all witness things. So like you're saying, it's just like me, like I believe it, but at the same time, it's kind of like same skeptic, like especially like when I watch all those shows, like I'm the same, Rob, like I watch all those paranormal shows, like, and all that stuff, and it's like when I'm watching, I'm like, they could have faked that. It could be fake, like
I do that.
But at the same time, it's like you kind of believe it too. But yeah, that's crazy. Oh my god, that is cool that you. I like that you can experience that with somebody else.
Yeah, I got one more story. If you
okay, tell me.
All right, this is actually I'm already an adult. I'm a grown man. This is actually, I'm reading Jonathan's comments here. Locking up and all that. Yeah, I understand. This is actually on my wedding weekend. I think it's actually my wedding night.
Oh my gosh!
This is up in Julian, California. If you've never been to Julian, I highly, highly recommend it. It's up in the hills here in San Diego, California. Mm-hmm. Beautiful place, especially during this time of period, October, because there's apple trees up there.
Mm-hmm.
Apple season, best apple pies in the world up on Julian. So highly, highly recommend.
Julian?
Yeah,
she's writing that down.
Write it down.
Oh, it's a little bit of a tourist trap, but it's still worth it. Highly. It's like, I guess.
I still live in El Centro. Do you know where El Centro is?
Oh yeah,
east.
Yeah, it's like further east. Yeah, I used to live there, so I used to go to Julian all the time. It's really nice.
I think compare it to like Solving up north in some area. But so it's an old mining town. So my wedding was up there. That's where I had it.
Nice.
And on a Saturday night, and we rented out basically everything on this big resort kind of cabin thing.
Mm-hmm.
Look, it's like one giant cabin where we had the actual ceremony and the party, and there was actually still rooms in that building. Plus, there's a bunch of cabins around it, and we had the honeymoon cabin for me and my wife, and what's called a moonlight cabin or something, I can't remember. And that cabin was actually built and owned by Jack Dempsey. And if you knew who Jack Dempsey is, he is probably he was a great boxer, big superstar. This is during Babe Ruth era, like early 1920s. He was considered more popular and famous than Babe Ruth at that point. Jack Dempsey, the boxer, and he owned. This is where he did his training before a big fight. Was at this cabin he built up in Julian, California, and so he was the owner, or whatever. So it was built in also like in the early 20s, whenever it was, when he was at his peak, his prime. And so we rented it, right, like I said, and that Saturday night, Friday night I got drunk. It was the night before the wedding. But the actual Saturday, if you ever got married, you're like the manager. So you're just busy running around doing stuff all day. You really don't eat or drink.
Yeah.
It's kind of like making sure everybody's good. So I was sober as hell. So I was I know that. So me and my wife, end of the night, we go to our room. We're exhausted. Trust me, nothing happened because we're fucking tired. So that's how it usually works out. So we go to bed, and I'm laying there, and at like probably later, maybe like close to 3 in the morning, around there, 2 or 3 in the morning, I wake up because I'm looking around, and I thought I heard or saw something, just like in the corner of my eye. I was like kind of like just in and out of sleep and stuff. I didn't sleep much that night, and okay, whatever. And I fell back asleep, and I felt like weight on my legs, and I just felt weight, like somebody sitting on your legs. You ever had somebody just sit on your legs? That's how it felt like. And I look over, and I see the indention because I have the sheets on me, like brown sheets.
Oh hell no!
And I see the indention
on my leg. The ass impression on your legs?
Yeah, like the full size of an adult. I don't know, male or female, but on my legs. And I was so fucking tired that I looked at it. I'm like,
whatever.
I don't care. I just laid my head back down. My
God!
I just went back to sleep. Woke up 2-3 hours later. It was gone. I was fine.
Oh my God!
I let it go and moved on with my day. But yeah, people could say I dreamed it or whatever, because I know that's a common dream of being held down when you sleep.
Yeah,
but you saw an indenture though. That's usually
I know I woke up. Yeah, I know I woke
up.
And I saw that.
So I have a question about your second story. When you were saying that you were laying down with a blanket, could you get up at that point in time too, or no? Or were you just like...
Oh, physically gonna get up? Hell yeah, I could have got up, but...
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say... Because I was gonna say, with your wedding story, like, I would have said that, like, oh, the two common things that you couldn't get up, and when something like, like a lot of sleep paralysis stories started out like that, right?
Oh,
yeah. So I was gonna say, like, oh, maybe there is something like following you around or something like that. But if you could get up on the second story, then yeah.
Yeah, well, because then also I was like probably 12 in the second story, and the third story I was 29. That's when I got married. So I was an adult. But the second story I easily got up, but I was afraid because I kept seeing shit flying over me. I'm gonna get hit in the head if I get up.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm like, dude, I'm not budging. I'm staying in this bed.
I'm staying safe.
Like, as long as it doesn't touch me. Yeah, if it would have touched me, I probably would have bolted and ran through the...
No, you would have screamed.
Cobblestone roads. There's cobblestone roads in Mexico. I've been just like butt naked running around.
But between like when you were a kid and now like as an adult, did anything like you notice anything happen, or like nothing that you ever noticed around you like ever happened?
It's like I felt weird stuff. Like, well, little insight to me. My dad passed away in 2019.
Oh, sorry.
And that's okay. It happens. It happens to everybody. So it's just part of life. It's something you have to experience. Yeah. But I've felt moments that he was there. Mm-hmm. It's hard to describe, but that's like the closest person that passed away from me. Mm-hmm. Besides my dogs and stuff like that. But human being, that's like, and I've had moments like I felt like he's been watching me.
Yeah.
I literally felt like he was watching me, but it's a weird vibe. It's hard to explain.
Yeah. I understand it. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes someone is really close to you. It's like almost that energy. Maybe it could be some total scientific explanation for that. Maybe the energy of that person you were around for so many years is
You
still
still
kind of with
feel
you,
it.
the aura, whatever. But I felt that throughout the years.
Is
Yeah.
it is that like a feeling like it's familiar, like like
Familiar.
when you were with your dad before when he was alive, like that's the
Yeah.
feeling that you would get, like, and then all of a sudden like he's gone and now you feel that same feeling from that moment or in the past with your dad. So is
Yeah,
that the kind of feeling that it is?
yeah, because it's I'm a big quantum physics guy, so I believe that energy never goes away. Energy is always
Hmm.
permanent there in whatever
Right.
space you were in.
It just goes in
Uh,
a different form.
yeah, it just
Right.
goes into a different form, a soul, whatever you want to call it. But when you were somebody like, let's say you're with your mom or your brother, or your cousin, you when they're in the room, you know they're in the room because you just feel their energy. You don't have to even look at them, and you know they're there because you just
Yeah,
feel them.
when somebody walk like without, and you kind of just look because you feel something
Mm.
behind you or someone there. I get it.
Yeah, and that's the same vibe. I'll feel that from time to time, not every day, but
Mhm.
it happens, and of course it just brings memories back, and I immediately
Yeah.
start thinking of them. But uh, I'm pretty sure I've had other moments throughout my life, but that's the only one that really stick with me in my head.
Yeah.
Uh, and I love to share one local place for San Diego
Yes.
for the. 'Cause I know you guys gonna shift
What's
to
the
that.
name of it so I can?
I don't know if I'm stealing your thunder, Jeff, on this one, but it's the it's the Whaley House
No,
Oh
no, no.
yes,
in
You're good.
Old Town San Diego.
yes.
It's a tourist attraction. It's considered the most haunted place or at least one of the most haunted places on the West Coast. I know there's
Is it?
Everybody
Yes.
says there's the most haunted place on the West Coast, so don't worry.
yeah. I've actually taken the tour and gone in there. It's highly recommend if you ever go to San Diego to Old Town.
Let
Great
me
Mexican
share.
food. But go to the Whaley House, take a
There it
tour,
is.
and yes, it could be hot as hell outside. And there's certain rooms in there that are just freezing cold. There's no
What is
AC
it?
running. It's
Oh
just cold.
wow.
And it's an old house, so most old
Yes.
houses don't necessarily have the right
Yeah,
insulation.
Circulation. Yeah.
Yeah, and that too.
Mm.
yeah. Circulation,
So
insulation, AC units, and all that stuff.
let
Yeah.
me see. Why is it? It's not letting me click on it.
And you could just walk through the rooms and you could feel the coldness.
Let's see.
Oh
It's not, I
wow.
want to say energy. Like energy
Yes.
feels like warmth. This is more like coldness. Because if you know the story of the house, a lot of
Yeah.
bad stuff has happened there. Like a lot of bad stuff. And yeah, there's I know my brother's coming in this week, and he's a big ghost hunter. He goes on ghost tours all the time. He goes to New
Oh wow.
Orleans and all that stuff. And he's
That
coming
is
in.
so cool.
I know he's going to do this because he's done it before. And there's this
Um,
house. There's a graveyard down the street from it. There's a lot of ghost
let's
stuff in
see.
San Diego's one of the earliest towns. It's like one of the earliest established
Oops,
towns
that's not the one.
on the
Where is
West
Yeah,
it
Coast.
New
at?
Orleans is definitely a
It's a huge haunted
it's a,
Yeah.
place.
Yeah, the
yeah.
seven
That's on my
Player.
bucket list.
Yeah,
I've
Uh,
been there only like on the outside of the Wavy's house, like when we went down, but we didn't go in. But you know what? My best friend, she went. They went like maybe a few months ago. Like I want to say 3 months ago, they went right, and she okay. So it's her and her husband and their two daughters, right? And from both sides of the family, my best friend and her husband. My best friend, she's half Cuban, half Mexican. So a lot of her Cuban side, they do like Santeria and stuff like that, right? So it's just kind of
yeah,
like runs in her family. And from the other side, her husband, his uh aunt too, like is big like on mm, like like witch stuff, but like a good stuff. Like also, I guess Santeria, I want to say too. But so it kind of runs in their family, right? And they do things like to protect them and stuff like that. My friend, he's in the movie business and things like that, so they kind of do stuff like to get protect. And they went into this house, and before they were about to go in, and the door, it shut on them, like the door just closed on them,
Yeah.
like it would not let them in. It was not letting them in. Like they
Oh,
will
wow.
open the door and the door will close back again. So they were like, that's a sign that we shouldn't go in.
Yeah, that's a sign to leave.
Yes, so they didn't go in. I've been
I
watching,
heard third time's a charm, right?
right? Yes. So, and I was watching right now. Like remember I was telling you guys that that show on Amazon last week. I think I mentioned it. The files. Shit, I can't remember the name of it. Dr. Hans Holzer. Uh yeah, so it's like let me see. File. It's on the Holzer Files. It's on HBO.
Oh, okay.
And they do go to the house because Dr. Holzer back in the day, like I think we said it was in the 70s. I think, I mean, yeah, he was doing his research and stuff like that. He went to the house, and he went with the medium and stuff like that. And they talked to one of the workers, and he was saying how like he got knocked down and he didn't know, like he was just kind of like fell, like he was getting attacked, and multiple people said that they were getting attacked in the house.
Yeah.
And while the medium was there, like a lot of the stuff
They call that a
was,
poltergeist, or like
yeah,
they attack you.
yeah, but they were like few people, if you guys watch that episode on at HBO Max, the it calls the Holzer Files on HBO, and watch that episode. It was pretty creepy. It was pretty creepy. But I was gonna show you guys, like for the people that haven't visited, let me show you guys some pictures. Let me see. Can you guys see it? Right. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Let me see. I was trying to see if I can like better pictures of the
That's the court. It's also it was a courthouse. It's a house, so there's a courtroom in there.
yeah.
The hell, you have a courtroom in your house?
Because that's like the it was the biggest house in town. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I got
You see right here, like
He was the leader of the town, kind of, you could say.
yeah. Well, see, before that, this house, they used to do hangings outside that right there, because it was like
because the
like a
courthouse,
courthouse,
right
yes.
outside the courthouse.
There's a
Yeah.
giant tree outside, yeah.
Yeah, and then well, the guy that let me show you this picture. He purchased the house.
Yeah.
He purchased the house, and later on, I think his daughter, one of his daughters,
Yeah.
like she committed suicide. She shot herself.
I think
And
the boy that died from disease, right?
and
I think the boy died from disease.
yes. And then a lot of the stuff, but he was saying that the main person who haunts the house, it was one of the persons who got hanged outside the house. That's from the Holzer video. And he and the guy who bought the house, that he was there when he got there, when they killed him. And oh shit. What the hell? My shelf just. Let's see if we're talking all that stuff.
Hey, did your shelf just open on its own right now?
Huh?
Did we just witness like
Online ghost?
Yeah, my shelf just kind of like gave up right now.
Or your shelf?
No.
I thought
It's all
Yeah.
fell apart.
Yes, what the hell?
He's like, stop talking about me.
Seriously.
Maybe the ghost has a YouTube channel and they're watching you.
Dude.
There you go.
That's
Nice.
funny.
And you know,
Since you're doing that, Steve was asking to share a real quick anecdote, kind of a ghost story. Real short one though, because he was asking, say that one that I told him about. This is like really recent at the current apartment. I'm my
Wait,
bedroom.
in your apartment?
not in my apartment, outside my apartment, but I witnessed something weird. I don't know if it's a ghost or not, but it's weird. I thought it was weird. Home run, by the way. So I have a big, beautiful window in my bedroom. Big window. I love it. It's the best part of the whole apartment. It looks out onto a park, and we're like at a higher level, and it goes down the stairwell. It goes like a stairwell, just a cement stairwell going into the park. It's a very narrow stairwell. Barely fits 2 people. It usually want to be by one behind the other going down.
Yeah.
You could do 2, but you got to be a smaller person. So one night I was, taking off my clothes, about to go to bed. It's probably 11 p.m.
In front of the big ass window.
Well, it's a park, so there's nobody there. We have no neighbors can see into that window, unless you're in the park. Yeah,
unless you're in the park in hours that you're not supposed to be there.
Yeah, but there's a bunch of trees covering too. Like there's a ton of foliage and trees. You gotta really stop and peek Tom into my window to
Yeah.
see.
Okay.
But so I'm like just getting ready, to go to bed, and I look down. I see a couple. They look from the back. They look Asian, like an Asian couple.
Yeah.
They were a little slender, a little smaller, and they were wearing like a jacket, whatever. Both of them were, and I thought it was weird because this is during the summer. I mean, why are they wearing jackets? But whatever. It's late at night. Maybe they're just really chilly all the time because they're small. But the guys,
you're not wrong.
The guys on the left, the girls on the right, and the girl, they're holding like arm to arm.
Mm-hmm.
So with their forearms, right? They're holding like that.
Yeah.
And they're walking in unison, like a military march, like step by step.
It's two synchronized.
Yeah, 2 synchronized and very calmly and slow. And I see them going down the stairwell. So the first time I saw it, I was like, that's weird, but whatever. Didn't mind it. I don't know. A few months later, same couple, I swear the same jackets, doing the same thing, going down the stairwell into the park around, I think the same time. Maybe to the hour or the minute, I can't remember. And I looked, and that's when I stopped and thought, I was like, wait a minute, that's weird. I know this is deja vu. I've seen this, and it's the same couple doing the same thing, but I never see their faces. I just see their back. Never catch the front. So and they just kind of go down the stairwell, and it's dark, so they kind of just fade into the darkness, into the park, and I lose track of them. And that's it. That's it. That's all I saw. But it kind of took it around. Like, that's weird. That kind of freaked me out a little bit. That's a ghost. Like that. It's outside, and I'm in my apartment.
Yeah.
Have you ever looked into like what was there before? If like
the park?
Yeah,
Indian burial ground.
Oh,
is it really?
No, I'm joking.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. It's California. There's built. Yeah, they're buried everywhere.
Yes.
Rod is there right now.
And I still, I love my apartment. The apartment itself is super feng shui. It feels good when you walk in here. It just feels like good energy in the apartment.
Mm-hmm.
Outside, I never felt weird, but that's the only thing I noticed weird here. Maybe it's just a couple that likes to take late night walks.
I don't know
Is
about
it really?
you.
Is it really one by you? Is it really one? It's cemetery by your house?
No.
There's one by me though.
Oh hell no!
It's literally like 2 minutes away. And the other day, my friend came to visit, and we went at night.
Did you see anything? Did you hear anything?
Okay, so it was crazy because we were kind of just chatting in the car, and we parked by. There's a little like creepy old church right next door.
Uh-huh.
So we went there first, and we were just chatting. And basically me just trying to muster up the courage to get out of a car and like go to the cemetery, which was just right across the street. And she was like, let's do it. I was like, oh my God. Okay, let's go. So we went, and it was like locked up, so we couldn't actually go like through it, but we walked around it. And what's weird was, as I got out of the car, I told you the church was like right there, and I was getting creepy vibes from the church. But as soon as I walked closer to the cemetery, I felt like fully at ease, and it was like so peaceful. And I just wasn't expecting that, because I was like scared in the car, you know? And then, so we were walking around and it felt like I said, really peaceful, even though it was at night and like could have been creepy and stuff, but no, I didn't feel that vibe at all. And then when we walked back to the car, again this time, and she was the one that said it coming back to the car. She's like, oh my gosh, I'm getting creepy vibes from this church. And I'm like, yeah, I feel that. So we just quickly got in the car and left. But it was an interesting time. I had been wanting to go to that cemetery for a while.
What cemetery is that?
It's right here. It's down the street. I'm in San Leandro. And it's a small little cemetery, but I saw one of the names, and this guy, I forgot his name already, but his last name's Meeks, so I think it's William Meeks. Anyways, turns out I did research on him like right when we got home. Turns out he like owned this whole like there are two back-to-back like towns right here. It's San Leandro and then Cherryland, and he basically is the reason why it's called Cherryland, because he actually came from Seattle down like back in the day when it was like the Oregon Trail, and he came here and basically just grew a bunch of trees and grew cherries out here, and like so he owned all this land and stuff. So that was kind of interesting and really cool. Yeah.
Was it anything like it just like his name just kind of like interesting, or was
he had the biggest gravestone. So I don't know what they call the big ones.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's a name for the big ones, but he had one of those. That's why it like caught my eye, and it was sad because we had noticed that there were some smaller gravestones next to him, and it was like his kid.
Mausoleum?
Like he had 2 kids. Oh
no,
yeah,
mausoleum is when they.
No, mausoleum is
like the inside.
Yeah, when you go inside,
that's
the
building.
A giant.
You could build a mausoleum over your grave. People do that.
Yeah.
Oh, so
this one you couldn't walk in, but yeah, the next one, his 3-year-old had passed away, and like, yeah, it was a very interesting read though.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and I was like, no wonder I got kind of like good vibes, because he basically is, built this whole area up by like alone with him and his family and a friend of his. So it's kind of cool.
That is crazy.
It's funny. You guys start saying all these stories, and then I'm starting to like get flashbacks of memories of like, oh yeah, I've been to multiple cemeteries, and like I've been to a Civil War cemetery like in the middle of the night. I've done stuff I don't even remember doing.
What the?
So, I'm sure I have stories about them. I just have to get my old ass head to remember. Yeah.
Remember. Yeah.
So no one on this panel has been to New Orleans before, right?
No.
I haven't.
I really want to go.
I've been to Lafayette.
Okay, so I definitely recommend going at least once, especially because you can go to the, what is it, the Voodoo Museum on Bourbon Street.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard of it.
Like, it's definitely very creepy to walk into that store, because it's like an old general store, and then like you'll see shrunken heads there. Just
crap.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So highly recommend it if you've never been. And then, have you ever heard like that? Especially like when you drink a lot, like you awaken the spirits and all that.
Well, that's why they call spirits.
Right. That's why they call it spirits. So New Orleans is notorious for drinking all the time, right? Like they never have bars that close. It's open 24 hours. You can like pretty much.
It's been like that since the Pirates days.
Right.
There was gambling there. Yeah.
Yeah, and then people always speak of different. Like if you walk around the city too, you can definitely feel different vibes wherever you're going.
Ooh.
So, but is that awakened more because everyone's drinking?
And there's people.
That's why. Yeah, in that concentrated area.
Interesting.
I've heard of that also for Charleston. Charleston's an old pirate town.
South Carolina.
Yeah, I want to definitely go over there. I heard it's like super haunted over there as well.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, I want to go to all those places. Like, again, I'm gonna talk about Jack, but Jack, like, he stayed at that house with that Madame. What's her name? The one who had like that she had a lot of slaves, and then like bunch like she was torturing them, and like she killed a bunch of them. I don't know. I can't remember her
I
name.
don't know.
You know which one I'm talking about?
There's a lot of them, I think.
No,
So,
I mean, well, anyway, this one was like really famous, like because of what she was doing, because she was very popular. Let me look up her name. And but
Bobby.
what he said, you. Let me see.
a lot, yeah.
Let me see.
She does come off as like the lady from the haunted house in Disney.
Oh, Madame Lorraine. What's her name? Delphine Lalaurie. Lalaurie. Let me see. Let me share my screen so you guys can see. But that's funny. I think that right now that I Googled it, and then they show like the one from American Horror Story. She played it for American Horror Story, but it's her.
What does she look like? Kathy Bates on the left.
Well, that is her. It is Kathy Bates.
It
Yeah,
is.
it's like that's Kathy Bates.
It's because Kathy Bates on American Horror Story, she
played her. Oh,
yes, it's
like,
a really
that's what
interesting.
Kathy Bates.
Yeah. But
You're like,
yeah,
that's me.
but then the house. This is a house, and then nobody like before. Like I think they used to let people. They're back at doing tours because for a long time they were not doing them. But I don't know if you guys don't know this story.
I don't know.
You guys don't know.
I think I've heard it because I love history.
Well, like
was it a brothel?
Yeah, she was a
Yeah,
she was the let's see. The poem was to the social slave owner and killer Marie Delphine. I can not I can say her whole name. Lalaurie. Yeah, according to the local legends, during the 1834s. Okay, yeah, it was yeah, she did have it, and it was kind of like a brothel thing going on, but like she will torture, and she will get people over like who like to see stuff like that, and uh uh and the way they found out that she had killed, and then the people, the slaves that will die, she will bury them under the house and stuff like that.
Jeez.
And once the way they found out, it was because one of the slaves, she was in the cook, she was chained to the stove, and she broke the fire, and they were able, that's how they were able to help a lot of the slaves like to get out of there, and then she was on the run. But for a long time they were not letting people go in, and Jack Osborne, he was able to, like, they don't do
tours.
No, they do, but they were not letting them investigate.
Oh,
investigate. They don't let a lot of people go and investigate because they said that when they were doing it, things were getting worse, like with paranormal and stuff like that. So they stopped doing that. But then Jeff, sorry, sorry, Jeff. What's his name? He had a friend who knew the he knew somebody who know the owner, and they let him investigate. And it was pretty creepy. Like a lot of the stuff that it was happening, you could hear voices, you could hear a bunch of like shadows and stuff like that. And if you want to watch that episode, it's on HBO Max, and it's which one is it? Portals to Hell. It's on HBO, and you'll see that episode. But that
I feel like there was more than the reason of just like it's close to the public right now, especially if like they said that the increase of paranormal activity was happening over there.
Maybe there's a first murder that happened.
But yeah, like, and and that show, like, they interview like the people who live like past people who live there, and all the paranormal stuff that happened to them, and what they seen and things like that. But it's such a creepy house. It's beautiful house now, but it's just like you can see like the rooms where they will show you like the rooms where they were torturing the slaves and stuff like that. It's just so sad. It's pretty sad. But I'm gonna share the one that Aaron wanted to talk about. Hold on, that he said that he.
Yeah, so you shared it in the group chat.
Yeah.
This creeped me out because, like, I used to live in Galveston for a while, or like a city right outside of it, and there's only like one Walmart next to the seawall. Like it's a really small city because it's a beachside town. And when you shared this video, I was like, I've been to that Walmart like a lot. I had no idea it was like haunted either. And this was during a time period when Walmarts were 24 hours. And then because I would have to drive to Houston from there, and it's like a 45-minute to an hour drive depending on traffic. So I would have to go to Walmart in the middle of the night. And
Oh,
when you
heck
sent
no.
me this, like I was like I was like, are you serious? I was going to this haunted ass Walmart.
Dude, I'd be going all the time just to see if I see anything and shit.
I know.
It really surprised me because, like, I guess like, it made sense in history, but I can't really,
Aaron, you're going in and
Aaron,
out.
your audio's messing up.
Uh-oh.
There it
You're
is.
good,
There,
you're
there,
good.
there.
Okay. So yeah, it just kind of freaked me out, like that this was an old orphanage, which makes sense. But then I didn't know it was at that exact location.
Yeah.
That's freaky.
Yeah, like
That's
and you can
creepy.
see like this guy on this page, like he's telling like kind of like what happened to that, and I was like when I saw it, I was like I need to send it to the group chat, our group chat, so I can see it.
That reminds me of the haunted Toys R Us out of here in California back in the
Oh
day.
yeah, that's a very haunted place.
Yeah,
Very well known.
They tore it down though, because
Yeah, I'm sure they did.
Where was that one at?
Northern California, right, Jeff?
Central Northern California or something like that.
I think
Okay.
so.
Oh,
It-
before.
Interesting.
Isn't there that haunted movie theater in California, like where it's an AMC and it's like attached to a mall or something? Is that in
I don't
Cali?
know. I don't know. I
I'm
don't
not-
remember an
I'm not
AMC being
aware.
haunted.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or it's currently at AMC right now, but it used to be, I think it was like a mall or in a shopping center.
Oh
that's
yeah,
sold-
yeah. I have heard of that.
I don't want
I
to
forget what city that it's in.
Yeah, me
Well,
too. I forgot.
I
I will
just
bet
remembered a story.
Go for it.
Go for that.
I don't know if it's a ghost story, but it was something weird that happened to me, and I did have a witness. So back when I was like my early 20s, I was part of a club, a student club at UC Irvine, Chinese Association, and I didn't even go to UC Irvine, so I just happened to know people, and they let me be on the board of this
That's
club.
cool.
And so we had a officers trip. So we went to Vegas. We stayed at one of those it's like a Residence Inn suite, or like those suites and stuff, like and it's behind the strip, and all the girls went out that night. They all went clubbing. Me and my friend, we stayed behind because we had to study. I went to a different school, and I had finals coming up, so we were studying, and he was going to pharmacy school or studying to become a pharmacist. So we stayed behind, and we're on the couches. The couches are like in an L. Like there's two couches, but they're in that L shape, and we're on one on each of the couches, and there happened to be a floor like outlet on the floor, and I just happened to like put my arm down from the couch, and a shot of electricity came out. Like wasn't touching it. Just electricity just shot out of the outlet, went through my hand, through my arm.
What the?
And the whole building went pitch black. Like all the lights were shot.
Whoa.
And
you're not on the dark side, would you?
And I swear, me and my friend, we just stopped everything we were doing. We were in mid conversation too. We just stopped talking. We looked at each other for like a good 2 minutes, didn't say a word. And I was like, what the fuck just happened? And he goes, I don't know what the fuck just happened, but we need to fuck out of this room.
Oh my god.
and so
Yeah.
we get up and we're looking around like, what the fuck? And we went outside of the building, and all of the other buildings were pitch black too. Like
Hmm.
I knocked out the whole electricity in that whole suite, the Radisson or whatever.
The hell?
Did it hurt you? Like if
No,
Yeah.
it didn't even hurt. It might have tickled, but nothing.
That is
Like,
crazy.
and that's why I was like, he saw the electricity come out of the ground, out of the floor.
That is so creepy, dude. That is so
Wild.
Yeah, and the only reason he saw it because we were just conversing across from each
Yeah.
other, and I was like, "What the fuck just happened?"
I'm
So
pretty sure I read a comic that started like that, but I could be wrong.
It does sound like it, but you have somebody who was there, so it's like,
yeah,
Yeah.
we told the girls when they came back, and they didn't believe us, and I was just like,
Was the
I don't
power
know
still
what-
out?
No, when they came back, the power eventually came back on. But remember,
Okay,
they had
of course
they
it
had
came
just
back.
gone out like a half an hour before
Yeah.
you had this conversation, and it's
Yeah.
Vegas, so they weren't coming back for like 3-4 hours.
4 hours, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Dude, that is so crazy.
yeah, I have no idea what happened. So it was just a weird experience. I've actually barely told anybody that story.
Damn. That's a good thing you
'Cause
remember right now.
It's just it's not very believable because it's just how the
Yeah.
hell
Well, it's
did I-
moments like those that make you really start questioning things. Like if
Yeah.
enough moments like that happen to you, then you will like start
Yeah.
thinking differently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Or start
Damn.
perceiving the world differently too.
Yeah.
I guess I'm not afraid of ghosts or things like that, paranormal stuff. So
Mhm.
it doesn't really bother me. I guess that's why I've been to a lot of like haunted houses and haunted places and cemeteries in the middle of the night. I've done all of that when I was a kid, and it didn't really bother me. Like in my mind, I'm going, oh, it's scary, but I'm like, I didn't feel scared.
Yeah.
It just
Hmm.
maybe
You
It just
eventually get
doesn't
to a
bother
point
me.
in your life where you're like, shit like that just doesn't bother you anymore. You're just like, whatever.
yeah, it just early on, that's just how I feel. That's maybe it's because my grandfather would tell me ghost stories when I was like 5 or 6. So maybe I'm just used to it. I don't know.
Oh, you got desensitized young.
Or I got one hell of an angel protecting me or something.
For sure. Okay, so I'm gonna share this real quick. This is the one that I found that I'm like I would like to visit one day, and it's the artist house on Key West in Florida.
In Florida, oh.
And so this one, it used to be this one used to be the home of Eugene Otto, the owner of Robert the Doll. You guys all know who's Robert. Sorry, Robert. Robert the Doll. Have you guys heard of that?
Mm-mm.
I have not.
Yeah. So it's
It
kind
rings
of
a
like
bell.
that one is. It's also kind of the inspiration, I guess, to Chucky.
Oh,
But
okay.
this
Not
doll.
Annabelle?
So this doll was like it's a haunted doll, but Robert is no longer located inside of the house, but it's now said to be haunted by a female spirit. But and so Robert the doll, like it's another one that now I think what's his name? Stag from Ghost Adventures owns the doll, and they had it like it's pretty. I guess that bad stuff will happen to you if you don't respect him. Oh, look at that goat on there. But I don't know. It's like they say that it's haunted now because of that, but it's a pretty house. It's an Airbnb.
Oh,
and
shit.
Oh, it's an Airbnb. What's
No.
the
I
Wow.
wonder what the reviews are like.
I don't know. And it's a beautiful house. I love the color.
It's got to be booked all the time because that's just a thing that people do. They want to go to and stay at places like that.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. People love to visit places like that. But I wonder now with the hurricane. I hope it's still okay. The house.
I would avoid the southeast for a minute.
It's a beautiful house. But I wonder now. I'm gonna look up more videos to see like how haunted it is or what's happening. If they said, "Hey, you,
Okay, Bob.
hey girl,
I would love to take the ghost tour at Queen Mary in Long Beach. Ever heard of that ghost tour?
yeah.
That's another one you have to watch, Rob, on with Jack Osborne. That him and his sister they go.
I
Yeah,
haven't seen Jack's show, but I've seen other people do tours and stuff like on TV and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
I haven't. My brother's done it. He does all that stuff. I haven't
Mhm.
done it, but I would love to do that ghost
We
tour.
should invite your brother on the show so he can talk about to see what he has experienced.
I don't know.
Wait, you said the Queen Mary, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Queen Mary. Yeah, Long Beach.
Yeah. You want me to add it, Jeff? The slides? Yeah. There you go. There.
So yeah, that's the Queen Mary. I've been on the Queen Mary before.
Was it
where
creepy?
Is it creepy? Yes, it's a little creepy. So I've been on Queen Mary a couple of times. I've gone during Halloween. I've also been there.
Did you go to the mazes and Halloween?
No, so they do a little tour. You know what? I don't think it was like on Halloween, but it was around like in the October month. But
they have mazes now.
Do they? Because they didn't have. I don't think they had a. They maybe they did. Maybe they did, and I just didn't go through it, or I did, and I don't remember.
They have mazes now.
But I do. What I do remember is like there's rooms that they won't let people in.
Yeah.
Yeah. The pool.
And there's actually a famous room.
Yes. Well,
if you
in that room, I think
right
in that
here.
room from the
State
show,
room.
yeah, that room, all the lights were off, right? You know how they turn off the power on the thing on the while they investigating, and Jack and the medium, I think, they were passing by the room and the lights turn on. Nobody was inside the room.
Yep.
The lights were like, I'm telling you, the lights were all completely off and the light turned on.
So when I walked through the Queen Mary, it did feel cold. It did feel a little different, like not comfortable is how I would put it. And the rooms that were locked up, that you there's a window. There's like a little circle window to each door. And so you can see inside. And I feel like some of it's like set up where they actually do it on purpose. Obviously, because there's like an aberration of a woman, and it's like a ghostly looking woman. But I think they've done that on purpose. But there are a lot of like, I think there was 46 or 47 deaths on that boat alone.
Oh, jeez.
And it did serve in like
during
wars.
The war.
Yeah, so
War
like
too.
soldiers had died. They used it to ferry people, and then they turned into a hotel.
I think a medical boat, right? For the
Yeah.
So one of the engineers died, and that's probably one of the most famous deaths there. But yeah, when I walked by those rooms, even though like they were kind of set up to make it look spooky and stuff on purpose, they put like a mirror and something that like there's multiple mirrors, so you can see like an aberration in the middle of it. And so like, but it still felt wrong. It didn't feel right.
Jeff, you have to watch the one with Jack and his sister. And I think his sister's a medium, but she doesn't not want to be like part of that stuff because she's scared.
The other sister, the older sister?
No. Kelly.
Oh,
Kelly Osborne.
Oh, wow.
Kelly, yes. Like that episode was so like, because it's only one episode and it's when they both, I think it was during the pandemic or like after the pandemic. I can't remember.
What channel?
It's on HBO. And you see it, and just look for Jack Osborne and Kelly Osborne, and then you'll see like them two. They do two different ones. They go to another place. What is it called? The Heritage Square or Heritage something, and also in LA. And they go to the Queen Mary. They do those two. Both of them are really good shows. And while Kelly is downstairs by herself at the very bottom, at the picture that you show right now, of the boiler room or whatever that was. She said that she's like she's talking and saying things, and
right
then I think she's sitting. I think it's there. I'm not sure. She's sitting on the floor, and you can see a shadow.
A little girl.
No. It's a guy. It's a guy. Like you can see the shadow, and then that like it's getting closer to Kelly, and Kelly gets up. She's like, "No, I'm done. Like this is," and you
Oh
can
my
hear
God.
her growl.
It could be
Ooh.
Wow.
it might have been the engineer.
But yeah, but she hears a couple things like that. She's the one who has the most experience.
She's
Kelly.
more sensitive.
Yes.
My
Yeah.
understanding, the boiler room and the pool and the Queen Mary are the most haunted place.
Mhm.
Yeah, the pool
Mhm.
too, right?
The pool, a little boy there, right?
Yeah.
It didn't
Yeah.
drown.
Mm-hmm. So creepy.
See the
But yeah,
hatch door.
the lady who
There's-
got killed in there, yeah.
There's a lot of like old, you know, warships that are still around that
Oh yeah.
like have
That'd be
very similar
interesting.
stories. Yeah.
Yeah. And the Queen Mary was closed for a while because of that. The submarine that is next to it that I think it's messing up or something, and they're afraid that it was gonna affect the Queen Mary or something like that. I can't remember.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the five places that I wanted to talk about. Well, we don't have to talk about it today.
We can talk to the
other
next
times.
next show. We can
But
do that. Yeah.
all five of these places I've been to. So
Ooh.
like I wanted to like have a personal connection so I could share my story
Okay,
of me
good,
going
yeah.
there.
If you want
But
the
yeah.
other ones next,
Yeah, we can
next
save it
week,
for the next week and all the
Yeah.
other ones. Yeah,
But
but I've been to. I can't believe I've been to so many different haunted places in my life.
I love all this stuff, and I haven't visited much. It's just like
Same.
the
I'm too
places that
scared.
It wasn't nothing I sought out either though. It was just
Yeah.
I happened to be near it. I happened to be there. I happened to be with friends in that city or
Yeah.
whatever the case was.
I went to Queen Mary, but it was for a wedding, and it was creepy. Like walking through, it was like very creaky and old, just like
yeah,
an old house would be creepy too, you know.
yeah.
But the actual like reception and everything was really nice, and I didn't get a bad vibe or anything.
I was there for a dance
Yes.
competition.
That's hilarious.
If you can imagine a dance competition on the Queen Mary.
That is awesome, dude. And you know, when we went 2 years ago, I wanted to go. I'm telling you, it's just like kind of around the pandemic, and it was closed. That's how you know it was
Oh
closed.
yeah, they were
Because-
closed for a while.
Yeah, because I wanted to go. We went to the what is it called? The aquarium that is around there.
Mhm.
Oh, the Long Beach Aquarium.
Yeah. And then I wanted to go to that, but it was closed. So we didn't get to go. And I'm like, the one time that I'm like close by something that is haunted and it's closed.
I'm not gonna lie. When you drive to the Queen Mary, it feels eerie already.
That parking
every-
lot.
Every
Yeah, the
time,
park-
like the bridges and all the, it just
Mhm.
feels eerie already. So I mean, I get that.
Can I share one thing that is like related to the ocean?
Yeah.
Darkest place I ever seen in my life, and I'll challenge anybody to find a darker place. Because I was in the Navy, I was on boats,
Mhm.
middle of the Atlantic Ocean when it's cloudy and there's no moon, and all the lights are off outside. And you walk outside, you can't see your fingers this close to your face.
Crazy.
No,
You can't see
no.
your hands right here. You can't see your hand
Oh,
because there's no light. There's clouds, no moon. You just hear the ocean, you hear the boat, but you can't see jack shit.
Do you
Ooh,
hear
I'll
other
challenge-
stuff though? Do
I'll,
you
cha-
feel?
I'll challenge that. Have you ever been into a cavern where they turn off all the lights?
I heard that's pretty fucking dark too.
That is that.
Mm.
It's the same thing. Like you stick your hand in front of your face, you can't see it, and then like you're
Oh,
standing
no.
next to someone, and then all of a sudden it just disappears.
They're
Like,
gone.
Oh
yeah.
heck no, dude! I can't.
But then and then all the echoes though on top of
Yeah.
that. So
Mm-mm.
Echoes, ocean, yeah, depends on what you fear more.
yeah.
Oh my god! Yeah, in the ocean, you don't hear like. I always imagine like do you ever hear like, I don't know, something else other? I guess the ocean's pretty loud. Like
Well,
Better not be hearing stuff.
Well, depends what you're on. I was on a big Navy boat, so I could hear the engines. And I
Mhm.
could hear the waves hitting the boat, but that's
Yeah.
how I could hear. I couldn't see anything.
I bet you if you were on a sailboat, you would hear weird noises.
You probably hear whales. You probably hear dolphins.
You hear the ocean, the wind.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like
I know,
on a
it's
Navy
like,
ship
I
carrier,
would
does
never
this,
get in the ship.
do those motors become like white noise to you after a
Oh yeah,
while.
dude, I used to sleep under the where the planes landed and the rubber of the front tire would hit. My face was right there, bro. I could hear boom and just I would sleep right through that.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
You have to.
Good job. That is so crazy, dude. Oh my gosh. I didn't know that about you, bro. Now I learned something new. Dang, that is so creepy. I could not be in a freaking boat.
Let me send you a quick link real quick. I wanted,
by
because
the
we're on the
way,
topic.
Send it
hours.
to the private chat second.
Yeah, I just sent it.
Would you say Big Rob?
2 outs, bottom of the ninth, Dodger up 2-0.
Hold on. Let me share it.
Bottom of the ninth. That means it should be over, isn't it? In LA?
I'm sorry, top of the ninth. Top of
Oh,
the ninth.
okay.
There. Let's see.
One more out.
How
And
dark
they
is
said the Padres are gonna win.
So
How dark?
How dark
press
is
the little arrow. So
Uh-huh,
that's
that
what
was
the
in film.
movie depicted.
Oh, the Titanic.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, I
Oh,
heard about
yeah.
this. Yeah, I heard about
As
this.
creepy as
I mean, you
Wow.
gotta imagine once the
Yeah,
once
all the
it
lights went
sinks.
out.
Wow, once it broke, the lights are out
Yeah.
and it starts sinking. You can't see
Yeah,
anything
no
unless there's
way.
moonlight.
Dang.
Yeah.
Imagine hearing people splashing and crying
Uh-oh.
and yelling.
Oh,
That's
And,
all
like
you-
everyone's
oh,
frantic. You're trying to like get out somehow.
And you're freezing to death in the water.
Yeah.
Debris everywhere.
Families
You know
are
what
like
TJ was?
separated.
Yeah, because it's cloudy, right? Because it's winter kind of environment.
Yeah.
At that point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they said it was kind of foggy too, right? At the time.
Yeah, that's why it took them a while to see the iceberg when they were.
Yeah.
Wow.
But then didn't people? That's why they had they said they had like those lanterns trying to
Yeah.
find people. That's why they didn't find probably how much can that.
How far can the light actually go
Yeah.
in that much
Majority.
darkness?
Yeah, the
That's why
majority.
couldn't find so many people.
You're probably just trying to survive and find a way out, and then
yeah.
gathering people on the way
that's
out,
horrible
right?
to
But
think.
you're in the middle of the
Oh.
ocean.
Yeah, that's true
That
too.
is
I would have.
horrible. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
gosh.
Well, thank you guys so much. Jeff will show more of the next one. Thank you,
Oh.
Rob, so much for joining us. If you want to come next weekend, next Friday, you're more than welcome. Thank you, Aaron, Jojo, Jeff. Thank you, everybody in the chat.
Before we end,
so much.
before-
What's up?
I had an idea. So
What?
you know how we were talking about doing the bracket for picking our top horror films and then like, taking our
Oh, yeah,
final
yeah.
three and our final one. So in the chat, after the show ends, leave comments of what horror films we should put in those bracket spots.
Ooh.
Yes.
So
Oh.
Yeah.
and then whatever
Yeah.
comment ones we see, we'll set up.
Yes.
And then
Aaron,
by
help
the
me
last-
do that. Can you help me?
Yeah,
try to
I can
do
make the
that?
graphic for that.
Okay,
Or
yes.
there's websites that you can fill out. And do
Okay,
that.
cool,
So,
cool.
but,
Let's
like,
do that.
But people in the chat after the
You gotta
show
give us
ends,
suggestions.
give us
Yeah,
suggestions
best
of what movies.
movies.
I mean, I'm sure we'll pick some on our own, but yeah,
Yeah. Oh, I was excited for that. We'll do that.
I'm excited
on the
for
last,
seeing Terrifier 3 this
We'll
weekend.
do that, and not this weekend, but not this Friday, but the following Friday. The last show.
Yeah, for the last, I say do
Yeah.
it for the last show.
Yeah.
So gather comments for next week's episode too.
Yeah. Yes.
And then I'll come
Yes.
back the last episode.
Yes. Oh my God. Well, thank you guys, everybody. Thank you so
Can
much.
Can I plug one thing?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Tomorrow morning, 10 a.m.
Oh,
West
yes.
Coast, 1 p.m. East Coast. Saturday morning, Toy Blocks here on your Nirvana YouTube channel. If you want to talk about toys, join me. Jeff will probably be there. Steve and Charlie.
Yes. I'm so bad at that. Good thing you mentioned it, because and then we'll be back near Nirvana, and then on Monday also.
Cover lovers.
Cover lover. I always say it wrong. I always say I don't know why I flip it.
The lovers of covers.
Yeah, I don't know why I say that. Comic lovers. Yes.
I would say Tuesday is or Monday is for cover lovers.
Yes. So yeah, make sure to join tomorrow. Big Rob, Jeff, Steve, they'll be doing I'm bad with names in general.
So am I. It's all good.
But yeah, join tomorrow. Thank you guys. We'll see you. Have a great night. Bye bye.